Salutations and good morning everyone, welcome back to another Grounded Update video where today we're going to be going everything that has been changed, edited, and moved around inside of the Bug Strike Back update, guys. I'm on Obsidian's Grounded webpage and I'm going to be reading through everything that has changed. Now, there will not be any gameplay in this video. This is just me going through and reading through all of the items that have changed in this new recent update. So if that's not your guys' bag, go check out the channel to see all sorts of other things that have been done, including all the gameplay and all the changes that I have covered inside of the game through all of my different videos that I have done. But let's go through now and let's read a little bit more on Obsidian's page here. First of all, if you guys want to, you guys can go check out Obsidian's Grounded video for the developer vlog number 17 over on Obsidian's YouTube channel. You guys can check that one out if that so tickles your fancy. Let's read through and let's talk about some stuff. So first of all, we have new base defense modes. So we have faction reactivity, the waft emitter, and the mixers. Let's start with faction reactivity. More or less, this one says bugs will take the fight back to your base when they get tired of you intruding on their territory or killing their kind. The more you annoy that particular species, the more likely they are to knock knocks, per se, on your door. So, for instance, this means the more ants you kill, the more chance you have that ants are going to come to attack you. If you have a big base that is built literally on top of an ant hill, you got a pretty big chance that the ants are going to come and attack your base. Now, I wish that this setting is able to be turned off, on and off, but it's not. Cannot turn this setting on and off outside of a custom game. So those of you who are playing in a medium, mild, or low game, right now that is not custom, you will not be able to turn this off. I know that doesn't make some people very happy, but at the end of the day, this is the path that Grounded has decided to go down. Alright, so the waft emitter. You want to anger the yard at will? Build the waft emitter to add a pile of rotting bugs that wafts throughout the yard. Enraging bugs, or whatever bugs, whose parts you put in there. Of course, the more you add, the more enraged the bugs will be, which means the more that will come to try to attack the waft emitter. Note that when you use this, they are coming to attack the waft emitter. So if you put this in the middle of a base, they are going to come and attack the base until they can get to the waft emitter. This is a fun thing to do for those of you who like to build large bases and see how well your base stands up to it. Go through, try this one out. I promise you're gonna like it. But let's move on here and talk a little bit more about the mixers now. So this is a mixer right here. It is a really cool little thing, and there are 5 of them throughout the yard. In the starting area, in the charcoal area, and the hedge, the haze, and the sandbox. So you guys can go find all of those. If you guys want to know the exact locations, like I said, there is a video on the channel for you guys to see. Well, but it says right here, find mixer tanks across the yard mixing some good old raw science for Wendell's experiments. Then overdrive the system by turning up the speed beyond suggested limits and trigger an explosive result to collect a massive amount of raw science inside. Though the mixers are noisy and take time, and nearby bugs don't particularly appreciate that. So this is another one of those wave defense systems that once you activate this, there's going to be waves of bugs that try to come and attack this system as well. They're coming here to attack the mixer and want to destroy it. Alright, let's move on to collectibles, features, and crafting. So there is now when you peep things in the game, there is a creature card system. This peeping a creature will unlock a creature card on your data page of your SCA.B. By unlocking this card, you will have access to that particular creature's strength, weaknesses, weak spot locations, health, and creature tier, the number of the creature you have slain, and a tasty, flavorful fact that is always at the bottom of the This is nice and easy. You just look at the creature when you're peeping and then press the activate button and you will peep that creature. Alright, so lab features, or field stations now include the state-of-the-art Advanced System Library, or the ASL system. Okay, this terminals connect directly to Burgle's lab tech from anywhere in the yard. So now you can activate your science shop, your Burgle quests, and Milk Molar upgrades from any of the field stations out in the yard. All those field stations now become more or less a Burgle for you to use to upgrade your character. Alright, so there's also been a charcoal canteen and torch have been added to help you explore, to be able to explore longer than before while needing to find fresh water, without needing to find fresh water or making a torch. Bonuses. The new canteen allows you to scoop up any water at any point and filter it and drink it. Completely clean. No bad defects. The only thing is you will need to repair it after a while, and the torch is also a repairable torch that also works underwater and is almost twice as bright as a standard torch. I really do enjoy both of these new things added. Now we got some QOL, or quality of life improvement. All right, so this is something you've all asked for, and it's finally here. You can swap the difficulty in any game, not just custom games now. So if you're playing in mild and you're like, I have had enough of mild, I'm so bummed out that I have 700 days in mild and I want it to be a medium now. How do I make that a thing? Well, guess what? You now just go through and adjust the difficulty in any game mode. You can also name your save games to whatever you want to name them, whether it's YouTube videos, hanging out with friends, solo dolo, or trying to destroy Burgle. You know, whatever you want to name your save is exactly what you want to name your save. It depends on how you are playing in the backyard today. Storage containers can also be named now. SCA.B collectors have a collect all feature as well, and there's so much more. Here is even more. So we've already talked about faction, reactivity, waft emitter, and mixers. But they have also added turrets to the game now. We have a pebblet turret and a pollen turret. Pebblet 1 shoots pebblets, the pollen 1 shoots pollen. The pollen turret, when you shoot a creature with it that's flying, lands on the ground. If you shoot something with a pebblet turret, it does damage. If you shoot something with a pebblet turret during a base defense, it does more damage. So, all in all, good things. They can also be placed on walls, ceilings, and slanted surfaces as well, allowing you for multiple things. But they are not automated turrets. You need to get in them and shoot them. Alright, explosive bird traps. Be careful with these ones, guys. They're pretty cool, but they're also very dangerous. These things need to be ignited using spicy arrows, or by throwing a spicy weapon at it, or by hitting it with a spicy weapon, but they do a ton of damage and can destroy your walls, your bases, a mixer, a waft emitter. All sorts of different things can be destroyed by these, so be careful with traps. There is also a new mutation in the game. That new mutation is called Guard Dog. It increases the amount of damage you are doing while defending a base. Alright, creature cards. So, like I said before, creature cards have been added to the game by peeping. What I didn't mention, though, that there's actually gold cards in the game as well now. That when peeping, you have a 1% chance on a creature death to get a gold card when you pick up the creature's corpse. So whenever you're looting that creature, you have a 1% chance to get a gold creature card for you to have as just like a bonus collectible item. Right now, there's no reason to have a full set of them. There's no achievements or anything like that. But it still is really cool to have a full set of gold cards. And yes, all of the robots also have these, including our good old friend the Roly-Poly, who's technically a crustacean one. Alright, now let's move on to another big ol' update that was done, and that's armor upgrading and adjustments. Armor has been completely reworked, so there's a bunch of changes, including armor now applies flat damage thresholds based on their tier and percent damage reduction based on a weight class. There's a lot of information here. This is just going through and showing you guys how it changed from being, if you took 200 damage minus 10% damage threshold equals 190 damage, or your percent threshold being 200 damage minus 20% equals 160 damage now. So they've adjusted that up a little bit. So making it, the armor feels like it's stronger now depending on what you're wearing. And also each armor has a specific tier, and their flat thresholds have been adjusted depending on the tier that they Alright, so now, armor upgrading. Armor upgrading has been a thing that has been added to the game, and that is you can now upgrade, like your weapons, you can now upgrade your armor using the smithing station. Yes, the same station you guys use to unlock and upgrade your weapons now also upgrades all of your armor as well. It is also unlocked via 100 raw science from Burgle, or from the ASL stations, I should say, and it's very, very easy to get this stuff, guys. So, first of all, armor upgrades. 1 to 5 uses grub leather plates. Grub leather plates are made by grinding up grub leather and grub hides, and by using crude rope and sap. You put those three together, you get yourself a grub leather plate, and you can use that to upgrade your armor from level 1 all the way to level 5. Alright, then you have 2 different paths that you can go down, okay? Like weapons, you have what I would call the quartzite path, or you can go down the specialty path. So let's go down the bulky path, or the quartzite path. So the bulky path uses berry leather plates for tier 6 and tier 7 in order to get into that path. It's going to upgrade your durability and damage threshold by 10% per upgrade. Same goes for 8 and 9, except you're going to be Koopa leather plates instead. The sleek path, though, this is where things get fun and exciting. The sleek path for upgrades also adds a specialty perk to your armor, allowing you, the player, now to have additional perks on your character, making it more beneficial for you to swap out certain armors to have multiple different types of armor on now to give you different abilities for each piece of armor. This also is done via upgrading with dairy leather or pupa leather plates. So go down there. Also, weight classes have been reworked, guys. Light armor now has a 10% reduction with a 5% more stamina cost on attack. Medium has 20% damage reduction with 15% more stamina cost on attack, and heavy armor is 30% damage reduction, but has 25% more stamina cost to attack. Repair has also been reworked, which this I'm super happy about. Repair has been reworked to upgrade weapons and armor. All weapons and armor 6 or higher will have their repair recipe replaced by repair glue. Repair glue is made at a new crafting station that you get from unlocking by grabbing the hedge super chip. All right. This is also the thing you need to unlock those berry leather plates with. But once you get that repair glue, you will no longer need to use different bug parts and quartzite and what have you to repair your weapons and armor. You will now just need repair glue. And repair glue is actually super easy to make. You just need bug parts. And if you're going out there fighting bugs anyway for different things, you might as well have all these extra things on your character to glue. Weapons and armor of plus 0 through 5 use their normal recipes, though they do not use repair. Weak points. Creature weak points have been added to the game, guys. Enemies will now take extra damage when struck in a weak point. Certain weak points are only affected by special damage and attack types. Enemies that have weak points will have their weak point location detailed on their creature cards, and a special VFX sparkle will play when the player successfully hits a weak point. Alright, we've already talked swapping difficulty mid-game. We've also changing custom game settings. Changing custom game settings are the same, except they've made it so you cannot change all recipes unlocked for free, bug spawn, and quests. Otherwise, all the other abilities of changing in-game settings during a custom game is exactly the same. ASL terminals we've already talked about. Save game naming we've talked about. Storage naming we've talked about. But, yes, bugs now jump. This is a big one. Bugs now jump and follow you more diligently. Bugs do not care if you now jump up onto a rock or a root. Bugs do not care if you try to escape them by jumping onto a lily pad. They will follow you onto that, and they will try to eat your soul. So be careful. They are still going to chase you down, even if you try to run away and get to higher ground. They'll just jump up there and get you anyway. So, fun little thing that's there. Okay, we've already gone through all of that. The charcoal canteen and the charcoal torch, story and quest revisions. Let's talk this, because this is like the last big thing I want to go over. There is a lot of bug fixing that's going to be happening below that I'm going to read through really, really fast, but story and quests are something I want to kind of slow down and take. Everybody, when you first load an old save, it's going to take a little bit longer to load in, and then you have to redo the entire story. You still have your bases, you still have your armor, still have all your unlocks, still have all your SCA.Bs. All of that will still remain the same, but you will have to go through and redo all the story in all of the labs. This is done because they rebuilt the entire story system in the game, making it completely different now. So you have to go through and redo it because they changed everything. So in order to make it so you're not in a weird state when going into further games, they said, guess what, guys? Wipe your story progression, start over in story. Remember, guys, we are playing a game that is currently still in development, and things like this are going to happen. Okay, so changes and tuning. So, systems, rest warning for waking up in the dark has moved from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. The players will respawn at the nearest discovered field station if no respawn point is set. Billy Hogs and apples now grant more items when harvested in a slightly different way. After breaking the initial big food node, it breaks into several chunks. Each chunk can be hit to burst into large quantities of loot. Billy Hogs now grant spoiled meat in addition to their food loot. Increased milk molar HP upgrade values. Lint rope can now be crafted with only 2 lint instead of 3. Minor stamina rework. When stamina is fully depleted, you will now enter an exhausted state. Exhausted states last for 3 seconds. You cannot perform any actions that require stamina. This includes jumping. After exhaustion ends, all stamina is fully recovered instantly. Some systems, such as Thirst, has been changed to interact with exhaustion time instead of stamina recovery speed. Stamina recovery speeds and delays work as normal in all other circumstances. Stamina cost for swinging all weapons has been halved. Controls. When in peeper mode, your rotation speed is scaled down for more precise control. Mutations. Okay. Mithridatism has been changed to a 3-tier station. stage mutation, I should say. Stage 1, killed you obtain by killing 1 wolf spider, 25% poison damage reduction. Stage 2, 5 spiders, 50%. Stage 3, 10 wolf spiders, 75%. There is no more 100% poison resistance. Be careful. That makes wolf spiders harder. That makes the brood mother harder. They were never meant to be easy, so they adjusted it and made them more hard. Alright, Little Fist has been reworked now to a 3-stage system as well. 40 creatures equal 25% chance, 100 creatures equal 50% chance, and a 200 creatures equal 75% chance on hit to gain a damage buff for unarmed attack. Stacks are unlimited amount of times, clears at the end of combat. Cardio Fan now also decreases exhaustion time on top of its previous effects, increasing stamina regen speed, and Reliable Friend now decreases revival time by a much larger amount, 25, 50, and then 75%. Daredevil now decreases fall damage by 50% and prevents dying from falling in almost all situations. Movement. Zipline speed acceleration increase. The player will be slowed when finishing ziplines to reduce falling damage. Upgraded engine to Unreal 4.27. That's not really a big deal for you guys. Audio, 1 new combat music track whenever you're fighting those black ox beetles. Accessibility, read me now in non-Latin languages. A lot of stuff here, guys. This is going to be a lot of those other things that are getting changed to the game here. Combat, all creatures have had damage passed to keep up with new armor system. All creatures had an AI adjustment for combat. Creatures will now strafe and move more frequently. Creatures have their attack frequency and cooldowns adjusted. Damage cost for swinging all weapons is half. Daggers now deal slashing damage instead of chopping damage. Underwater harvesting remains unchanged. Creatures are now better at navigating between separate navigatable regions. Orbeaver Juniors are now tier 1, and Orbeaver Juniors are more popular around the backyard, guys. Dust Hazards no longer deal durability damage. Repair hammers, or repair tools as they're called, repair buildings, HP twice per use. Twice as much. Pet corpses will now drop more items and memorials when they decay. Pets now take 3 times as long to get unhappy. Additionally, pets will lose happiness 50% slower when equipped with any sort of hat. Lots of interface stuff here, guys. I will leave these up for you guys to read. So here's interface, building in general. All right, building placement, optimization, world resources. Let's go down to creatures. Dust mites are now significantly less tanky. HP reduced by 20%. Damage threshold reduced by 12. Resistance reduced from 50 to 25%. Items. The same smoothie effect can no longer be stacked multiple times. You can stack as many different smoothies as you like. Roasted meat now stores health when consumed in addition to its other effects. And then we have a whole slew of bug fixes, guys. A lot of major fixes were done here. A lot of other fixes were done here. We have bug fixes specifically for Steam as well, but you guys can go through and read all of these if you would like. I'm not going to read through every single one of these for you guys because that's just a lot of reading for all of you when a lot of people don't really care about what bugs were fixed. They just wanted to know what changes were made. You guys want to know what bugs were fixed? Here's the list. But thank you everybody so much for watching this one. If you guys could hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment down below of anything that you guys think would be coming in the next update, because I already want to be looking to the future to see what else could come to this fabulous game of Grounded. But thank you guys so much. Don't forget to go down there in those comments. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.